Look at my matches.
Hello and welcome to the Dead Air Dudes. I'm Izzy.
I'm Raka, and we want you guys to talk to me.
We're going to dig deep and we're going to give you a review complete with spoilers of the 2022 horror film Talk to Me. Okay.
And
Directed.
we're going to ask that question that everybody wants to ask, and Raka and Izzy disagree on. Is this the best horror movie of 23?
I have to go back and see how many horror movies came out in 23 and see if I saw them all.
I mean, there's the Evil Rise, Evil Dead Rise. There's a couple of them, and we'll get to it. But first, talk to me.
All right, directed by Danny Filippo and Michael Filippo. If I mess up the names, I apologize. Also written by Danny Filippo, Bill Heinzman, and based on a concept by Darley Pearson. And for me personally, the concept was the best part of the film. Everything else, we'll get to that. Obviously.
We're gonna scorch the earth or what?
Yeah, maybe not scorch the earth, but obviously it stars Sophie Wild as Mia, and Joel Bird as Riley, Alexandra Jensen as Jade, and a nice quasi cameo by Miranda Otto playing the mother Sue.
I mean, it can be suggested that inspiration came from Edgar Allan Poe, The Monkey's Paw.
For all those who, believe it or not, have not seen or have not read The Monkey's Paw, go with that.
Well, it's a dead mummified monkey's paw, but apparently it has some mystical power to bring upon your wishes, and of course, one of those things of be careful what you wish for. So, not exactly the same, but this is a hand of a supposed mystic or force sensitive person.
It could be it was a medium, it was a mystic, it was a Satanist. We don't know, and it was
Well, that's the thing. I like the vagueness.
Embalmed and embalmed, cut off, embalmed, and supposedly there's a real hand underneath all the.
It's like a plaster figurine, but it's creepy as hell.
The one thing, okay, you know what? The movie did have creep. It was creepy. Was it scary? It was not scary. I mean, I read.
Well, here's where I differ. I had a lot of.
Come on. No, man. It's not scary.
No, I had an eerie feeling through it. Maybe it's because it really touched a nerve with me. With children shouldn't play with dead things, and these are children. They were. This is a strong force to the other side that you know nothing of how. You could see in the beginning. They set it up very well. They're not just children. They're teenagers who are acting like kids. They're very adolescent and immature. And you don't dabble unless you have some well enough knowledge. They're given some like set of codes like Gremlin. Under a minute, the candle, blow it out, the whole thing. But they lack the discipline and the respect to use that. And of course, there's no surprises in the plot. I give you that.
No.
I think the beauty of the movie is its execution.
All right. I mean, for all those who do not know, the story centers around Mia, who her mother passed away by strange possibly suicide, sleeping pills. We don't get to know that. Her best friend, Jade, has a little brother named Riley, and they're all very close, obviously. And I guess there's the popular kids, they have played this game, as Raka mentioned, with the hand, in which you touch the hand, you say the words, you light the candle, and spirits appear, and then they go inside you, supposedly. And then, but as Raka mentioned, within less than 50 seconds, you stop touching the hand.
Break the bond, yeah.
The bond, you turn off the candle so that the door's closed, and then boom, boom, boom. That's what happens. All right. As Raka mentioned, you have these teenagers, they don't specify the age, but Obviously, and everyone seems to be brain dead in this movie, which is, I mean, I get it. You have to suspend your belief in horror movies and movies in general, but this is this is extra. This was pretty freaking stupid, but
But it's meant for that target group, audience group. It's for a young adult audience group where I think it was late teens or college, but you can tell it was that. I mean, it's throughout the whole movie. Mommy, don't tell me what to do. I'm an adult now.
maybe
And that's what.
there's some
But they're not. They're not. They were reckless in how they opened the door. And okay, spoilers for everybody. How they opened the door and they left it open.
yes. I
And
mean,
that's when things got way more brutal.
look, the way I see it, first of all, the beginning scene, pretty cool. Nice beginning, even though obviously, CGI, whatever, but it was still pretty cool, when the Duckett and the brother and the whole thing, and they find out this, that, and the other thing, cool. And the cinematography is great. It was directed well. I mean, the acting was pretty.
The score, the sound effects were excellent.
I was all that was, and considering I think it was made for $4.5 million. I mean, kudos. I mean,
And it's a quick flick. It's an hour and 30 something minutes.
I mean, now that at my advanced age, I prefer these 90-minute and under films. Get to the point quick, bang bang, bam, slam bam, thank you, ma'am. And unless it's something that's meant to be, but let's not go around beating the bush, and we don't have to beat the bush. Okay.
It didn't feel completely low budget like some of the movies I've watched.
No, but then again, but you can tell how first of all it was. I do believe it was shot on location. Then obviously they didn't really use many locations for that, and it was minimal. I mean, minimal CGI. There was some decent effects.
Which I kind of appreciated. It's a little bit of throwback flick.
Yeah, so that was cool. It was a lot of it was acting. It was cool.
Well,
Now,
the thing is, it's a very straight linear plot, which I also can appreciate because you hate that twist that gets in there sometimes, and
you know what it is? It started off as much, but then what ends up happening is that you start adding too much to the soup, and it ruins the soup. Some people like it salty, some people like it sweet, some people like it spicy, but the majority of the people won't like it, unless they like that specific type of spice and or salt and or sweetness. Okay, people, because I'm expecting this to be the next coming of The Exorcist. I don't even know, and maybe that was the problem. I'm expecting it to be great, and it was much less than good.
Oh, well, I mean, to me, it had like a Sixth Sense feel without the star power, obviously.
And I mean, in all these movies, all these demonic possession films, they're all the same. Then it's just, and except this one had characters that you did not root for, you didn't really care about, and you didn't want to see succeed.
Oh yeah, Mia was a hot mess.
I mean,
That I give you that. That I give you as the one of the glaring issues I have is that you're right. The main character, I was on the fence.
bro, you're rooting for the hand after a while. You're rooting for, and I'm like, yeah, man. I mean, and obviously, and the ending you saw a mile away. But the only thing that was kind
Oh
of,
no, the ending was very predictable, but it was nice. It tidied it up.
I mean, about the only thing that was pretty cool, the fact that I compared this to another film that should have been freaking great, but ended up being okay to mediocre. Event Horizon. Okay, when you saw a glimpse of all the terror what really should have been, and how they showed it, and then they kind of, and then supposedly there's a director's cut, that there's a bunch of another 10 minutes of
no. The director's cut makes a difference.
them going into hell would have made it even that much more. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, no, if you in this movie, yes, in Event Horizon, because you opened that tangent, I watched the director's cut. It leaves you a little chilled.
I mean, and
It
even
makes a difference.
it's not even the cut that they really wanted to do.
Right. It's an extra 40 minutes or something like that.
Supposedly, it got burnt down in a studio fire or some bullshit. So we're never gonna get to see that.
Yes, getting one ended back.
So, but I mean, I know, and by no means am I saying it's a bad film. It's not a bad film,
Well,
but
here's the thing I wanted to put out to you
bad.
because you and I both saw it streamed.
Yes,
This is one of the movies that I sat down afterwards and I go, I think I would have liked to watch this in the theater. And it completely dark with surround sound and everything. Because where I watched it, yeah, it was on my phone. And unfortunately, I was watching with ambient light and background noises and disturbances. Where I think if I was, even if it's still on my phone, but I'm all alone by myself in a dark living room, I think it makes a world of difference. Because you're almost completely secluded from the outside world where you are transported into darkness and all you see is the screen. And
what
again,
in a packed theater, people who are talking
oh, this
and
is what irks you: the screaming, the talking, and the complete not compliance to courtesy.
it takes you out of the film, out of the moment. So even though I guess
Wait,
oh,
watch it in the theater with nobody around.
yeah, but the odds of that happening now, first of all, now I think it's odds of theaters since it's now streaming. Well,
Yeah, it's in sporadic theaters, very choice secondary locations.
unless you have another way of watching it. Mm, um, yeah, you can buy it for $20. So which is what I did, and we go on. So I mean,
Well,
I
okay, so
mm.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Good.
I have watched a good. You know what? Which is really weird. I think I've watched a little more horror movies than you this year.
Yes, I have.
But
Yeah, I think I've seen maybe five or
there's
six.
oh no, I've easily passed a dozen. But it, I'm not talking all time, right? Just talking about this year. Not that it's Head and Shoulders, but it's the one that left me with more permanence than the other movies. And I'm talking about The Pope's Exorcist. I'm talking about um Resurrection. I'm talking about your complete. I mean, you can't count the Nick Cage vampire movie and stuff like that. That's comedy horror, but the rest of them all kind of lost me at some point while viewing. Well, I was still hooked on this to the end. And weirdly enough, I did like Resurrection. That would be my second or third next to this. Very odd, but I would.
Okay, all right. I mean,
Thus far, it's the best I've seen in 23.
I don't know. I have to look. I have to look back at my records and see. But off the top of my head, I'm not even sure it's the best horror movie. I'm sorry,
Best horror movie of 23.
2023.
I mean, because there's Evil Dead Rise.
Okay.
Um, again, the Nick Cage movie. There's well, God is a Bullet. I don't know if you call that. That would be more like a slasher. Uh,
I mean, all right. Here we go. You talking? All right. Megan.
which what?
What Megan?
I'll have to think about that.
I mean, I think Megan was better. All right. All right. So, influencer. I kind of like influencer better than this one.
Really?
Yeah. The Blackening.
The horror comedy,
Sick.
different category.
Was not Sick. This was better than Sick. Infinity Pool, who I was also disappointed by.
Does Infinity Pool under this year falls or last year?
It's under. I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes now, and it's under 2023.
All right.
Wrath of Becky. Yes, this was better than the Wrath of Becky. The angry girl and the angry black girl and her monster. I heard good things. It's on my list. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, then it's on the Halloween list for October.
Yes, Evil Dead Rise. It's probably slightly better, than that Evil Dead.
Evil Dead Rise was a CGI exercise.
Right. Scream 6.
Oh,
Yeah, this is better than Scream 6.
yeah.
The Offering I have not seen. Summoning Sylvia I have not seen. Go on. The Breach I have not seen. Murder Anyone. You're Killing Me. On my list, I haven't seen it yet either. Maloon on my list, I have not seen it. Swallowed. Rocka, you saw it. What
Oh, this is by far better.
okay. Unseen. This is better than Unseen. Followers. I don't think I've seen that. Candyland. Let's see. Follow Her. Have not seen that. It's on my list. Skinamarink. I try to watch that. I'm going to give another effort. This is better. I mean,
Well, that's the ringing endorsement if ever heard.
Knock at the Cabin.
No.
Okay.
The other thing with Knock at the Cabin is that it's more disappointing than it is a bad movie. It's not a bad movie, but it's disappointing because of who made it and who was the cast, where it could have been way, way, way more.
There's something wrong with the children.
That was actually pretty good. This was a better movie, but it's on the same level.
Okay, The Boogeyman on my list, haven't seen it. Cobweb, I heard decent things about it. Again, on my list, haven't seen it. Renfield, we already spoke about Renfield. Blood, have not seen. Spoonful of Sugar, on my list, haven't seen it. Hunt her, kill her, not seen.
See that again?
Oh, Tin and Tina.
Yes, I saw that. I actually enjoyed it. This is better slightly. This is better, but that was actually an enjoyable, very, very unnerving movie.
Okay, The Last Voyage of the Demon of the Demeter. Again, on my list.
It's on my list too. Okay, so those on the list we just mentioned will be covered for the month.
The Pope's Exorcist. Rocka mentioned this already.
This is on par, so I would put those two.
The Nun 2. See that?
No, I'm waiting for that one to come out.
Okay, we have a Ghost. It's a horror comedy. I can't even put it,
And well, not to go any further, but also, I suspect to be the top one. Oh, actually, Resident Evil animation. The top one would be Five Nights at Freddy.
Oh yeah, of course. Insidious.
We're going to. I saw Insidious Red Door. That's actually in the dumpster fire bin. It's smoldering right now, but we're gonna put a fresh heaping gasoline.
I know Rocka saw this one. The Black Demon.
Yes. I'm sorry for everybody out there. We missed Shark Week, and there's a reason.
The Tank. Did you see that one? The Tank.
I would recall that now.
All right. I know Rocka saw Children of the Corn.
Oh my goodness. It was a decent standalone, but part of the franchise, horrible.
And last but not least, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
I can't say that's a great movie. I can't say it's a good movie, but for what it is, if you're strung out one night and you're looking for a fix, I think you'll unintentionally laugh your ass off. At the same time, ask about a dozen times, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah, so I mean, look, taking a quick glance at what has come out this year, I mean, I think it's still among the top, arguably as good as Megan for me. And I enjoyed Influencer better. But it's still up there. I mean, look.
It's an enjoyable horror movie. You should go watch it. If I had to give a gun to my head right now, I'd give it a strong 8.5 out of 10.
Jesus Christ. I mean, no, you heard it here first. This movie's going to be amongst Rocka's top films of the year in 2023 at an 8.5. I'm you know what? For shits and giggles, I give it a 5.8. How about
Oh
that?
my God. How's that lobotomy going? God.
Maybe when they shave some of my some brain matter here.
Oh, good God, man. Got to
But
think what other scores you hand out.
but at least I didn't give Strays a 6.5. Okay.
Strays was, come on. That was, there were parts in there I was laughing pretty good. That
Like,
was, that was insane. That was so stupid insane.
I mean, look,
Somebody screwing the gnome.
but I'm going to leave it at this. There's a couple scenes that might be unsettling that are pretty cool. And kind of gore.
Unsettling is the word. The buildup has been very good, especially in Aussie film that has made its way. And you can't argue box office numbers.
No, I mean, hey, I mean, there was a success, a success, and obviously with the whole strike and everything, no one knows. But they interviewed the brothers, the Filippo brothers, and they mentioned that of course they would love to do a sequel if A24, would be down for it.
Listen, as we are speaking right now, I have my team of gnomes creating the hand as my display for my Halloween setup.
You know what you could do? You can make a hand and take it to Comic-Con.
Oh, and just wear it around my neck. That is brilliant.
And just go to people and have them,
That is brilliant.
All right. Let us know what you guys think about this film, and get ready for spooky time and the 30 days of horror. Brought to you by the Dead Air Dudes. Once again, thank you for listening, subscribing, watching, and enjoying us babble.
And remember, 50 seconds and blow the candle out. And to save the whales.
Take care, guys.